Welcome in to I Remember My First Time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. This isn't a movie podcast today. What is this today? What is this glorious, blessed, special day, Jacob?
As we've said many times in the podcast so far, this is the only true holiday that the world knows. The only real true one. And we like even with we're horrible at posting every week. We're horrible at posting the same day every week, the same time. But if there's something that gets posted on the day it's supposed to, it's on 3/16 for Stone Cold Day.
What?
Stone Cold Day.
What?
Stone Cold Day.
What did we watch today, Jacob?
We watched Stone Cold turn heel.
Still shocked.
WrestleMania X-7.
17, for those of you who don't know. X7 is weird. That was a bad look. Let's put it that way.
That was such a bad look. It was so bad. But yeah, we did WrestleMania 17, which is what?
2002. No,
I thought it was
2000.
2001.
I think it's 2001.
Yeah, and it's Stone Cold's second or third time headlining. He headlines what, 3 times total WrestleMania?
I think so.
But what a good one. We had, let me start it off just with a banger, just now that we've addressed it at Stone Cold Day. Has any family murder suicide guy looked any better than Chris Benoit in 2001?
I hated how much I liked that match. I hated how much I liked it.
It was a good match.
Like, the first, 2 minutes, I'm like, "Ah, this fucking guy." And then 2 minutes into the match, I was like, "This match is fucking awesome." I don't know what to think right now. I need to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, real quick. It was a good match, though. What is there, like, are we just gonna just dive right into the Mount Rushmore of favorite matches?
So, I will say that I believe this is universally thought of as the greatest WrestleMania ever, and as far as what I thought about it, that's really hard to argue against. The top 4 matches of this WrestleMania are all so good, and there's 2 or 3 other ones that were really good as well, but the top 4 matches, we'll get into Rushmore, obviously. Those 4 matches were amazing.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that it's universally accepted as the greatest WrestleMania, because when I was looking at good and IMDb reviews, I didn't pick any up because they were all crap. They all do the same thing we're about to do, which is talk about the matches of WrestleMania.
Yeah,
But
who's going on IMDb writing a review for WrestleMania 17?
hey, there's 54 people that did it, and none of them are below 8 out of 10. There are 0 reviews from 1 to 7 out of 10. 0.
Yeah, there shouldn't be. It's like I said, was there a couple? Was the gimmick royal kind of stupid? Yes. Was the
Hold on,
women's
hold on,
match?
hold on, hold on. Was the gimmick royale kind of stupid and really racist? Yes.
They were paying homage to the racist past of the World Wrestling Federation.
Uh, it was stupid, but the Iron Sheik still won against Sergeant Slaughter at the very end, so it still had a good ending too. Like it was such a dumb match, but it ended up being, like, all right, cool.
Um, do you want to talk about what you liked about it?
Oh, so many things. I love being able to watch, even though it wasn't one of the best fights. I love being able to just watch Eddie Guerrero because, I mean, how often do I go back and watch old wrestling stuff? Never. So that was fun.
Yeah,
So many,
first time you've seen Eddie Guerrero wrestle a match in 20 plus years.
yeah. Also, I loved at this point in wrestling how many people were on the WWE roster from Texas. Eddie
Oh,
Guerrero, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker.
yeah, and Shawn Michaels was out hurt. I mean, when people talk about, the best state for wrestling, you could argue that the 4 best wrestlers of all time all came from Texas. You could argue that the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers is Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And they're all from Texas.
Yep. And so enjoyed that. The the matches were just so good. And especially like when you think about how good it was in 2001 versus now, it's just like this holds up. This WrestleMania holds the fuck up. That tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Wow. Wow.
I just Edge spears someone off a 20-foot ladder. It's
Jeff
just it's a,
Hardy Jeff Hardy is swinging from the championship belt 20 feet in the air, and Edge spears him off a ladder.
just incredible. Matt, was it Jeff? Yeah, it was Jeff Hardy walks across 3 ladders to get to the championship. It's just we'll get there. So, but the matches were cool. What else did I like? And of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Can I say one thing about the host on this podcast that watches wrestling to this day, or not to? I started again here recently. The theme
You
songs were so much better in 2001. Like honestly, as soon as Chris Jericho's theme song hit, I was like, those were the days, man.
oh yeah,
Those were the days.
except for the right to censor. That was
Yeah.
that was the one bad one, and I was like, I'm glad these guys did not make it.
Did you like the cameo from your boy Lemmy from Motorhead?
Oh, I enjoyed Lemmy. Eminem was supposed to do a music performance, but he tour obligations couldn't. So we got Motorhead with Lemmy, which was fucking awesome.
And actually, honestly, no. You know what? It was before Jericho's. It was the stupid Limp Bizkit song to introduce WrestleMania, and I
Yes,
was like,
yes,
oh fuck yeah. This is a lame ass song, but it's perfect for WrestleMania 17.
yeah,
Just like I said, the music, like Benoit's, even like Kurt Angle's, that's not like a pure rock song. It's so perfect for that character.
yeah. I agree.
Kane's Slow Chemical, I love that song.
Everybody's intros was good. I will second that. It's way better. Whether everyone's as good or not, it's better than today, like when I watch wrestling. And like you said, you watch it weekly. I think that's the distinction between us is like I'll watch wrestling. Especially when you're like we watch WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble every year together.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, dude, you need to go watch this, I'll go watch it. But you watch it weekly.
Yes. For the most part, yeah. Sometimes I don't quite finish, but like, yeah. Especially now
That's
that
what she
Raw's on
said.
Netflix. I do have one question for you. What was the most shocking hair situation you saw? Was it
Oh
Paul
no,
Heyman
no.
ponytail,
I
under redheaded Undertaker,
mm-mm,
Kurt Angle, or the Big Show with hair? Or I'm
mm.
saving my biggest surprise?
Oh, I'm sure your biggest surprise is mine, and that sucks that you saved it because it's JBL.
Oh
J
no. Uh,
JBL with long fucking hair to the mid back.
Mine was Michael Cole with frosted tips. Because Michael Cole is the lame old man announcer now. And seeing him with frosted tips had me shook. I couldn't comprehend in my head Michael Cole with frosted tips. It was wild to me. But yeah, I forget. Yeah, JBL was a good one too, with just the jet black hair down to his middle back.
I was like, God damn. All right. Mount Rushmore of matches.
I'll start it off, and this is surprising because I think this is the best match in most WrestleManias. This is the 4th best match in this WrestleMania, and it's the Undertaker Triple H.
Okay.
These two big guys come out, they immediately go right at it. Triple H took some nasty fucking bumps in this match. Oh my God, his back hit the concrete like 3 different times. Undertaker choke slamming him from the camera tower. This was an awesome match, and of course it was. It was 2001 Triple H and the Undertaker, but there were 3 ones better than this.
I'll have to disagree. This was my third best match, so there's only 2 ones better than this one. This match was incredible. Everything you said, Triple H took a fucking beating. I loved old school Triple H. You love it every time he brings up the sledgehammer. And then whenever Undertaker picked him up and he picked up the sledgehammer as he was getting picked up, I was like, this is fucking great.
That was one of the best counters I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was so good. But so now I don't have to talk about my number 3. My number 4, which I would assume is your number 3, is the Kurt Angle Chris Benoit match.
Yes, yeah. And again, I mentioned it earlier. I hated how much I liked Chris Benoit in this match. I hated it so much.
It just makes your skin crawl a little bit. You're like, icky.
Like, Angle moved so quickly back then. Holy shit.
Hey, he's what? From that point, 5 years removed from winning his Olympic gold medal.
Yeah, because 96 he won the Olympic gold on
Just
a
peak,
broken frickin' neck.
just peak physical condition right then. And that's why this WrestleMania is so good. You had Kurt Angle, peak physical condition, Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, Big Show, Triple H, The Rock. I mean, but that's why it was so good. It's because everybody was at their fucking peak. And this match really showcased it for like, and they didn't stay on the ground too long. Like it almost got too long. And I was almost like, I'm getting ready to get bored with the match. And then Kurt Angle started kicking ass. And I was like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
a very well-paced match, great chemistry between Benoit and Angle.
Yeah.
I had no idea who was gonna win it the entire match, and it was
I didn't
back and
either.
forth. It was really technical. Both those guys are crazy athletic, super quick. Just, like I said, I hated how much I liked Chris Benoit in this match.
Yeah. Every time he hit his head, I was like, oof.
Is that what did it?
I don't know if I thought that's what did it or we're getting closer. We're we're getting closer to the straw that broke the camel's back. But man, what a good fucking match.
Wow, yeah.
So so yeah. That's your third one, it's my fourth one, your second one.
Did you wanna say anything more about Taker Triple H?
Oh no, we covered it. I mean,
Okay.
it's the get, get Peacock. Peacock's cheap, everybody, and they have every WrestleMania. These matches are like 35 minutes long. Triple H took a beating. He had a sledgehammer.
Yeah,
Go watch it. It's awesome.
it's 2001 Triple H and 2001 Undertaker. Like I knew immediately that match was gonna be awesome,
Yeah,
and it
and
was.
as good as the writing is currently, the intro promos for Attitude Era WrestleManias are unbeaten. Like they catch you up, and you're just like, oh man, I'm into it.
Yeah. I was like, "I know everything I need to know. Great, let's
Yep,
go."
yep. Thank you, Vince McMahon. There's a couple things you do right, and deleting text messages ain't one of them.
Oh my god. So this may come as a surprise. Number 2 is Rock Austin. I fully understand why it could be number 1. For
What?
me, it's number
Okay.
2. It is the culmination of the Attitude Era. There is no move sets going on in this fight. It is a brawl. It is just the two biggest stars in the company beating the ever-loving hell out of each other for 35 minutes. And there's middle fingers all over the place. I think I counted like 13 birds flipped in this match. Both of them get hit with the ring bell. They're both bloody 10 minutes into a 30-minute match. Back and forth sharpshooters. And Stone Cold turns heel. What an incredible match. What an incredible match. So hard for me to put this at 2. So hard.
Uh, See, you're over here like I understand how this is people's one, but it's not my one. I'm over here saying I don't understand how this can't be everybody's one. This was hands down the best match in WrestleMania. This was hands down, like you said, the accumulation. So might be the best match of the Attitude Era. Where
If
where they're the even harder than BJ said it, they are beating the absolute fuck out of each other. Like when people tell me that wrestling's not real, I'm just like, go watch WrestleMania 17, the headliner. You watch that and tell me if you would deal with 5 minutes of that fake shit.
those guys were in incredible shape to go as hard as they did for as long as they did.
And it's easy to watch it's easy to watch 3 hour and 45-minute WrestleManias and glance away from the TV, look at your phone, look at trivia if that's what I'm doing, or what the fuck ever. I didn't look away from the TV once during this match.
No.
Not a single time. I was never bored. And it might have been a 45 minute. I think it was closer to 45 minutes than 30 minutes.
Yeah,
And
but either way, it's I think in terms of like if you're following the storyline, the culmination of WrestleMania, I knew Stone Cold turned heel, so like it didn't surprise me. I would be curious if in the moment which match I would have had number 1.
yeah, and I'm saying that I don't understand, and I don't understand. Like this is the best match of WrestleMania, but I also understand why my co-host has the TLC match at number 1.
It's my favorite match of all time.
Yeah, it's we watched Edge do a spear off the top of a 20-foot ladder to Jeff Hardy hanging 25 feet in the air to the championship belt.
Jeff Hardy did a swanton bomb through 2 tables. It's
They
that
put
match
the
never stops. It never stops. I cringed so many times. I don't know how everyone didn't die in that match. I love tag team wrestling. Just that combination, Edge, Christian, the Dudley Boys were my absolute favorite. Basically, when people are like, what made you not racist? It was the Dudley Boys. It was seeing Devon and Bubba Ray working together. They're the sole reason I'm not racist.
awesome. I enjoy, and this is my number 2 match because how can it not be? It's technical speaking the best match of WrestleMania because like Rock and Stone Cold was all out brawl. This was very high flying, technical, insane movements and shit. But I love seeing Edge and Christian with long hair.
I love Christian's stupid glasses.
Yeah, yeah, and
Hey,
the Hardy Boys. Like the Hardy Boys are in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? Because I remember them being as incredible as I've watched them in that fight.
Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys are still wrestling to this day.
I knew Edge and Christian were. I didn't know the Hardy Boys were. Are they in the WWE roster?
They are in TNA, but last week or 2 weeks ago, they had a match on NXT.
Okay. Are they still doing the same shit?
To a certain level, yes. It's not as wild as it was back then, because holy shit. and, and in my mind, the replay from this WrestleMania that's still played is Edge spearing Jeff Hardy hanging from the belts. It's such an incredible moment. And even knowing it's going to happen, it's still so fucking crazy.
Yeah. And that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
Those 4 matches, Wow. Wow.
I mean, there's a reason it's still thought of as the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Yeah. And it's those 4 matches because I liked the hardcore match with Big Show, Kane, and Raven coming from ECW. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I think I liked the McMahon fight better than that.
The McMahon fight was great.
Those
It,
Vince McMahon storylines were wild.
and so is our was our current Secretary of Education actually married to Vince McMahon back then? Was that his real wife?
Yeah,
I
still
love our
is.
country. Still is.
I watched the future Secretary of Education 23, 4 years into the future kick her husband in the nuts in this match.
After sitting around acting drugged out and confused. Just doing some incredible acting to just sit there stone faced with the shit they were doing in front of her.
And I'm watching this knowing she's the Secretary of Education now, and I'm like, "She was old as shit back then. What the hell?"
Oh,
Oh,
and
if
I'm
I
what
would've told 2001 that's gonna be the Secretary of Education in 2025, you'd have been like, "What did you put in your drink?"
yeah. I'd be like, dude, this is the kind of shit. This is the reason that people don't believe people that say time travel's real because they come back in time saying some outrageous shit. It's like the that funny joke in the third Back to the Future. He's like, okay, who's the president? Or the second, whichever one. It's like, who's the president? We're in the 80s, Ronald Reagan. Yeah, okay, huh. Okay, the
The
biggest actor in
actor?
Hollywood. Shut up. Okay,
The first lady's the throat goat?
yeah, get fucked. But yes, the timeline we do live in, our president is a convicted felon who is on record saying, "I grabbed her by the pussy," which will never get old.
No.
He could
I
he could become a fascist dictator and it will still not be old to say that he's on record saying they grabbed her by the pussy
and still won twice.
twice. Women still vote for him. Blows my mind. But anyways, not to get on a political rant, but she was there, so we had to.
Ugh.
Oh, the Eddie Guerrero was funny. I enjoyed the Eddie Guerrero. Things I enjoyed about the Eddie Guerrero. I made a joke in my mind. I don't know if it's funny. We'll find out now. Because this is a shitty podcast is a great place to test shitty jokes. 2025, Eddie Guerrero wouldn't be able to wear Latino on his ass because it doesn't go with current DEI initiatives.
What?
Nailed it. Also in this match, Paul Heyman, and I hadn't even asked you yet. How was Paul Heyman being the commentator for you as a huge Paul Heyman fan?
Awesome. Of course it was awesome. It's Paul Heyman doing color commentary.
He he starts giving a history lesson about Eddie Guerrero winning the European belt and yada yada yada. And Jim Ross goes, "Thanks for the history lesson and the sociology experiment or whatever." And Paul Heyman's like, "You're welcome," and of course.
I I loved Paul Heyman just dissing on Texas the entire time.
Oh my god, the stupid hat.
Where he's like, "How do you not hate Texas, JR? You're an Oklahoma boy."
Don't tell me what an Ogren don't like. I'll tell
I
you what you
I
like and don't
respect
like.
them. I may not like them, but I respect them.
Uh, what else we were saying? So the Big Show match was fun, but Eddie Guerrero, same thing.
The women's match, one women's match, that's the biggest difference between wrestling now and then. An entire WrestleMania, one women's match, and it was a freaking squash match? No thanks.
Yeah, I was when it started. I was like, damn, I hope this ends quickly, and it did. And I was like, awesome.
And it is funny because I remember, like, China being, like, buffer than any woman we've ever seen ever, And now I'm like watching this in 2025 and I'm like, there's like 8 women that buff in every CrossFit gym in 2025.
Yeah, get with it. All right, you ready for the little bit of trivia I have for this?
Yeah, I'm surprised there's trivia. Let's go.
Yeah, IMDb has trivia and reviews. Like I said, there are no reviews under 8 out of 10 for this WrestleMania. None.
There shouldn't be.
During the Eddie Guerrero match, Eddie attempted to throw Test over the top rope, and Test's leg accidentally got caught between the top and second ropes. It actually got caught, and he was stuck, and Eddie Guerrero had no choice but to try and help the referee free Test from the ropes.
It looked real. Like, it looked like it wasn't staged. I was wondering that when I was watching it because I was like, if that was planned, that was incredible because I was fooled.
Yeah, nope, not planned. As we heard during the main event match, Steve Austin used the $1 million dream for the first time in years at this event. So I don't remember him.
I thought that was a pretty cool submission.
I don't remember him ever being really a submissive kind of guy. Is that the reason he just stopped doing it? Because his character was more of a let me beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, because his character previous was like the ringmaster.
Oh,
So he like
stunning Steve Austin. So if you
yeah,
stun someone.
yeah, he was like a technical wizard. And then the character changed to just be a big brawling ass kicker.
Okay.
I just
During
looked it up. Do you know what this WrestleMania's rated on IMDb?
I should have known since I was on there, but no.
9.1 out of 10.
Right where it should be.
Maybe too low. Let's be honest.
Honestly, maybe too low. During the Raven, Kane, and Big Show match, when Raven tries to grab the golf cart and run away, he actually crashes it into a gap by the fence, and he was trying to swerve around into some production wires. He was later told by the production crew that he came within several inches from blacking out the entire stadium.
What?
Wouldn't that be crazy? Record-breaking night at Astro Field, just out.
Wow. What was the Super Bowl in New Orleans where the lights went? Was it New Orleans where the lights went out?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
No, was it New Orleans or LA? Doesn't matter. I know that San Francisco was facing the Baltimore Ravens. I know that much.
Yeah,
Mick Foley was
I
Mick
don't
Foley was
remember where it
asked.
was.
Doesn't matter. Mick Foley was asked to be Vince McMahon's opponent, but turned the match down. Foley had retired from wrestling at the time, and McMahon instead wrestled his son with Foley as referee. Foley has stated that not wrestling in the match is one of the biggest regrets of his career.
I oddly like Shane McMahon's wrestling style. The
Did
stupid
he?
little wind-up punch. It's so dumb. I love it. I fucking love how stupid it is.
Okay. I would have enjoyed seeing the Mick Foley Vince McMahon match.
Yeah, that probably would have been better.
Because the best part about Vince McMahon matches is I know he's going to lose.
Yeah.
So I'm going into it knowing that no matter how it starts, how the middle is, or even how the end is, he's going to lose. And I think a Mick Foley one would have been fucking awesome. And I think it would have been cool to watch Vince McMahon bleed on a level that he's probably never bled before, because that would have been the Mick Foley fight. William Regal and Vince McMahon's first WrestleMania match in WrestleMania 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. Actually, I'm going to save this one for last because I think it's the best one. There was a match that was supposed to be between Triple H and Mike Tyson, but it did not come to fruition. And that's why we had the Triple H Undertaker match instead, which I think was way better. I don't think it would have been as good anywhere close.
Yeah, and I love how Undertaker at this time is just like, yeah, just tell me when to show up. I'll fight whoever. It'll be a great fight.
Oh, this is also the first WrestleMania where his undefeated streak was mentioned.
Ah, do you know who he lost his unbeaten streak at WrestleMania to?
Yes, of course I know.
Okay.
I watched it happen.
Really? I thought you were out of wrestling by that time.
I mean, I'm always kind of into wrestling.
You'll watch a WrestleMania no matter what. You could have not watched a match in 4 years. You'll watch a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Some say that Stone Cold Steve Austin turning heel and winning at the WWF Championship at WrestleMania 17 marked the end of the Attitude Era. However, the WWF continued to use Attitude Era banners and logos until May 2002 when it became the WWE.
Yeah, I'd have to, like, watch the year after to know if it was
Well, I
still
mean,
Attitude Era or not.
it
Because like,
it
you
does
don't
it
just
does
change at the snap of a finger either.
no, and I just threw that in there just because why not? It's fun. But what we saw was the end of the Attitude Era. Like it's like the sacking of Rome,
Yeah. Like,
the second
maybe
election of
that's
Donald Trump. Like it's the end of what was.
well, I was gonna say it was storming the beach at Normandy, and when it became the WWE was the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but
Hey, also good. Also good. But yeah, I
this
mean,
was the unofficial end of the Attitude Era. How's that?
perfect. It's just like, yeah, okay. The like the Roman Empire fell apart, but you still had a Roman emperor ruling in Constantinople for however much longer. From the WrestleMania 17 to May 2002 is Constantinople. Like it's not really the Roman Empire. Get fucked.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Enough to know that it wasn't a Roman salute. Exactly that much. All right, the best bit of trivia on the pod. According to Dwayne Gill, he was supposed to participate in the gimmick battle royale as Gilbert. But in his words, quote, I made it to the curtain and I had 3 seconds to go and they stopped me. I was standing, getting ready to go out of the curtain for the gimmick battle royale, and they stopped me 3 seconds before I walked through the curtain and said, sorry, you can't go. They thought Bill Goldberg was coming in for the first time and they didn't know how he would react. They just kind of freaked out. I understand the business, but you want to talk about crushing, man? It killed me. It was hard to take. It was a hard one to take, and ever since then, I want to go back. I've I've got to make it through that WrestleMania curtain.
Do
Quote.
you do you remember Gilbert?
Yes, and if I
Oh,
haven't, and if I for some reason didn't remember him, and I'm just remembering him that wrong, social media has made me remember him.
it was one of my favorite bits that they ever did. I loved that character so much.
It
The
was it was
pyro
it
would
was
go off and he would freak out. It was so good.
it was probably one of those moments in your childhood where it just reinforced what you already knew. You're like, I'm a big guy.
Yep,
This is incredible. This is one of
yep.
the best things I've ever seen in my life. And to this day, it still is.
Yeah, and I'm sure every time, like, he came on and I was watching it at someone else's house, I would get excited, and they'd be like, "What the fuck is this guy excited for? This is a lame bit." And I'm like, There's no such thing. A bit is a bit."
They're all worthy of our time. All right. Anything else to say about WrestleMania 17? Quite possibly the best WrestleMania you can watch.
Everyone listening should watch it. You can you can probably skip the first match, Jericho, William Regal. It was just Regal was past his prime. You can skip the women's match and the gimmick royale, watch all the other ones. You'll have a fantastic 3 hours.
Yeah, and if you skip those three matches, you'll probably have exactly 3 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect, BJ. Watch this instead of the next time you want to watch Lord of the Rings. Okay,
I'd rather
because
I'd rather watch those 6 or 7 matches than Lord of the Rings.
you'll 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 finish a whole WrestleMania, but you'll still have two more Lord of the Rings movies to watch. So just watch this. Doesn't that sound upsetting, BJ?
A little bit.
Like just two more whole movies after putting almost about 3 hours into one movie. People are like, you haven't seen the real Lord of the Rings until you've seen the extended versions, and I'm just like, fuck right off.
Yeah, let me take a week off of work to watch them.
Yeah. All right. Well, then again, we hope you enjoyed Stone Cold Day.
Oh, wait. Did you give this a rating?
No, do I have to? 10 out of
Uh,
10.
yeah. It's the best WrestleMania of all time. What do you want?
Yep. Go watch it tomorrow. David, if you've made it this far in the podcast for Stone Cold Day and you knew we were doing WrestleMania 17, the fuck is wrong with you? Why have you made it this far?
WrestleMania 17 X-7.
Stupid. As stupid as the new logo designs for MLB hats.
Oh, you saw them?
Oh, they're so dumb.
They're like people are selling the Rangers hats that basically that says titties in Spanish for like $1,000.
Was it the Los Angeles Angels? Looks like anals.
Yeah, yeah. Astros has the big H in the middle, so it looks like asshos.
Yeah.
I, that passed multiple levels of people, and not one person was like, "That says asshos." That says tetas. That's anal. You're selling an anals hat, really? Not one person said that, or as I like to think of it, one person said that. His boss looked at him and said, "Pack your shit, you're fired." And no one else was and everyone else was too afraid to say something after that.
Hey, that's the world we live in. We have made it happen. And X7 is that stupid. But enjoy WrestleMania 17, 10 out of 10. Even though it might look like X7, it's 17 and it's incredible. Watch it at your leisure.
Oh yeah, I watched it over like 4 days.
The honestly, I don't know. I don't know how people watch 3-hour episodes of Raw weekly.
Over 2 or 3 days.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's not what everybody does.
There are people who watch Raw on Monday, NXT on Tuesday, AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, TNA on Thursday, SmackDown on Friday, and whatever AEW Saturday show on Saturday. That's crazy.
And then whatever pay-per-view match comes throughout the month on Sunday.
Yeah. Because it basically all of them basically have a pay-per-view every month or 6 weeks now.
Yep. And all you need is Peacock.
And shout out to the John Cena heel turn at the Elimination Chamber. If you haven't seen that, it's some of the best television I've seen in years.
And it's potentially prepping for a Stone Cold Steve Austin return to WrestleMania. Potentially.
That's what we're all hoping for.
That's what every wrestling fan hopes for every year WrestleMania comes around. And the best shot they all got was when WrestleMania was in Dallas like 5 or 6 years ago, and it fucking happened. Stone Cold was like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be in Texas.
I'll be there.
Beer.
I'll drink some beer, and I'll kick Kevin Owens' ass.
I'll stomp a mud hole in his ass.
That son of a bitch stole my finisher.
Happy Stone Cold Day, everyone. It's Austin 316. It's the Texas Rattlesnake. It's the Steve Weiser, beer drinking, bird flying, badass motherfucker.
Can of whoop ass opening. I would also like to say that his ring gear, just black boots, black trunks, black knee braces. Let's go.
Well, and I love that it's either black trunks or blue jean shorts. Down like, but agreed. His ring gear is top notch and very simple.
Just no nonsense.
Yep. If Kevin Owens didn't have a beer belly, that'd probably be Kevin Owens' ring gear.
I love Kevin Owens. He's so great.
Dude, Kevin Owens makes me believe that still at 33, if I wanted to do professional wrestling, I just have to work out for about 1.5 years and join a class. Like watching that dude go through a table, I'm like, I could do it.
Dude, that was it the Royal Rumble where he faced Cody Rhodes in that ladder match? I was legitimate. Like, I thought he died at the end of that.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, for all our listeners, happy Stone Cold Day.
Best holiday of the year.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so.
Bye.